Please subscribe to this Galactic Network podcast by going to gncast.com/subscribe or search iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, or anywhere podcasts are offered.
Galactic Radio.
Hello, Galactic Network peoples. This is normally where the pull list would be, and I do have some comic book recommendations that will come for you at the end, but I want to give you something special, and that is my review of Secret Empire. Now, this is recorded from the Else Nerds episode that I did earlier this week, but I feel like you will love this as well, so enjoy.
The following podcast may contain spoilers, profanity, and views or opinions that may not be representative of the author's intent of the articles discussed. We don't always take ourselves or the subject matter seriously either. Listener discretion is advised.
This stack of comic books, these are the first 10 issues, or actually the 10 issues of Secret Empire, starting from, or actually 11, because it starting with issue 0 all the way to issue 10. This is Marvel's latest event series that they have completed. And you look at the logo between Secret Empire. And there's issue 1, 2. Like, it was here, like, you slowly, as you're watching this, start to realize the, like, when you get to issue 3, and this is actually the variant edition, which is one of those that I love. It's an Andrea Sorrentino variant cover of Lady Thor, but you slowly realize, wait, something's going on with the logo. And then Hydra is taking over and all that, you know, all the way to where you get the full-on Hydra cap shield, and then you see it breaking, and the return of the traditional Captain America shield with it in all its glory, no damage around it. Now, I'm going to hit on something real quick with this. I'm interested to see what, you know, for example, my fellow Galactic Netcasters, or networkers, Brad Ludwig and Corey Scott, you know, the other comic book readers, well, former comic book readers, but comic book fans, think of this series, because this is one with the start of Captain America, Steve Rogers, written by Nick Spencer. It was one of those things that I'm like, this is an interesting concept, because it was taken out of Assault on Pleasant Hill, or Avengers Standoff. I think it has another name too, where the Captain America comes back. He gets youngified again, and but there's a secret. He's Hydra. He's always been Hydra. Now it was one of those, like, you know, you could sort of figure, like, they're not gonna retcon the history that much with it, but it was a fun idea to look at. Like, oh yeah, he was Hydra this whole time. Well, what would that look like? And you see that playing out with you know, him growing up and being best friends with Baron Zemo, with Helmut Zero, or Zemo, and you're going through it, and you're getting this political espionage type of stuff from him, and yet you're much like where you're getting on both things, because Nick Spencer wrote both Sam Wilson Captain America and Steve Rogers Captain America. He was doing these at the same time. And so at the flip side, you had Sam Wilson, who was very much a modern political thriller about the state of the country, you know, and all these racial tensions that are going on and stuff like that. But you never had when I remember first reading this, I was just like, okay, I'm here for the ride. Yes, it might sound a little far fetched that, Cap being a member of, being Hydra this whole time and stuff like that. But I just thought, okay, this is great story. I'm gonna let them tell it. You fast forward to Secret Empire, where Cap has successfully overthrown the government, and what Cap or Hydra Cap, Captain Stevel, as it was pointed out, as it was coined in Mighty Captain Marvel issue 9 that came out last week. But you have this. So you've got, Captain America as a bad guy, took over the world, locked out a lot of the heavy hitters, the cosmic heroes outside of the Earth with a defense shield thing, and he also captured some brood eggs or some Chitauri eggs. So the Chitauri are coming in waves because they want their eggs back. You then have oh gosh, you then start following this other Captain America. You have this other Captain America here we're following, and you're like, wait, where is this coming from? And it turns out that when Kobik, the sentient cosmic cube, rewrote Captain America, she basically kept a backup, because she just thought she was doing what was good. She was listening to Red Skull, bad choice, and going about it that way. And let's call him Classic Cap, because he is. He is the true red, white, and blue Captain America. And it's one of those that, even though Secret Empire hinted at Generations, and Generations is going to hint at, or it has been hinting at, not Rebirth, the essentially Marvel's Rebirth. I'm forgetting what it's called right now, but I didn't mind it, because this is a truly self-contained story. Growly is asking, he wonders about the fall of those who died, and this is the interesting thing. I applaud Nick Spencer for sticking to this route. You have Kobik, the sentient cosmic cube. The first issue, which I will say right now, the first issue and the 10th issue were both drawn by Steve McNiven. Steve McNiven did the artwork for Civil War that okay. So Carrie, I can explain that here in a second. But Steve McNiven did the art for Civil War, the first Civil War book, with that Mark Millar wrote, and that's Captain America: Civil War. The movie was loosely based off of. He does a great job in here. He captures in issue 1 the death of Rick Jones so well. It was so good that I'm like my heart broke. And I'm not a big Rick Jones fan. Like, I don't hate the character, but it made sense that they gave him something to do after he got de-gamified by Dot Green, by the Hulk that had the brain of, that still had the mental capacities of Bruce Banner this last time. And so you have a couple of tragic deaths in here. The death of Rick Jones, but more importantly, the death of Black Widow. And and this is something that had been hinted at from since Inhumanity. The last event book that featured the Inhumans. Essentially it featured the Inhumans. No, sorry, it wasn't Inhumanity. It was Civil War 2, because it was like both of them. They're like one tied to the other. Excuse me. And you have with this, you had the prophecy from this Inhuman who could predict the future that Miles Morales Spider-Man was going to kill Captain America. Now they didn't know at the time that he was Hydra. All you saw was him, with Cap on a, Cap through a stake out on the state capitol, or in Washington, D.C. on the Capitol building. We get to that moment, and this is, again, where I will applaud the artist. This was done by Andrea Sorrentino, and she, as a side jag, I think a side jag to a side jag, if you have not read any books that she does the art for, you're doing yourself a disservice. I first got in touch with her art during the New 52 when she was writing, or she was doing the art for Jeff Lemire on Green Arrow. And I love her art style. It's so great. The way she tackles violence, where she's showing more than what she probably could show if it was just in plain color. But with the fact that she's almost doing a Mortal Kombat approach to some of the things where you're almost seeing like the skeleton with the with the bone breaking or whatever. You get that same thing here where Hydra Cap actually kills Black Widow with his shield. He's got the pointed the more traditional shield, and I believe they call it a kite shield, and he's going to do that. He's going to use it to kill, because, and there's another cool design I would say about the shield. At the point it has, like, it'll come out at the end, it'll actually point out, and like there's like a knife there, so like blades there, so it could be used as a weapon. And you go to, he's going to do this, he's going to kill Miles Morales. And Black Widow, very last second, she comes in and he punches her right there, is right there, breaks her neck. This is one of the things, like, I could have I applaud them for not rewriting the history with this and have Kobik erase the deaths of Rick Jones, of Black Widow. As they said it, as he put it in issue 10, she rewrote the world, but she gave all of the heroes the wherewithal of what happened so that this would never happen again. Now, Growly Bear is asking about Generations, because Generations started while Secret Empire was wrapping up. I believe it started during issue 5 or 6. Generations, and for those of you guys who don't know, Generations is a series of one-shots that lead up to Marvel Legacy. That's the name of that book that I was thinking of. That is leading up to Marvel Legacy. And you see it in the end of issue 10, where Kobik takes some of the heroes, some of the newer heroes, Ironheart, Kate, what's her last name? Kate Bishop's Hawkeye, Ms. Marvel, these legacy, quote unquote, legacy characters, the Jane Foster's Thor, and she puts them in with, or they're placed in this event, or this stories with their predecessors. So for example, one of the stories that came out last week was The Archers. It was Kate Bishop and and Clint Barton, the Hawkeyes, on this Hunger Games style island where, they have everyone's wearing a belt that if they try to take it off, it's apparently a bomb. But if you hit their button on like the belt buckle part, it teleports them back to wherever they go. This does a couple things. It's brilliantly done because so far every book is written by the so for example, that book was written by Kelly Thompson, who is writing the Hawkeye book that is focusing on Kate Bishop. The Thor book was written by Jason Aaron, who is doing the Mighty Thor book, which is focusing on Jane Foster's Thor. Every book is being written by the person who is writing for the younger characters. So one of them, for example, is going to be Cap America, the Cap, I believe it's called the Captains. But it's Cap America, Steve Rogers, and but like an older Steve Rogers, like a previous in time Steve Rogers, and Sam Wilson, and they're going to team up, and it's going to help them to come about some ways here, to learn, help each other learn things. I look at Generations as a series of great one shots. Because there's some, like, for example, a few of them will hint to the books that the younger one is in. So, for example, the Ironheart and Iron Man was one, and I believe that one came out, and it will lead back to or hint back to Invincible Iron Man, which is still starring Ironheart. The Thor book did that same thing with Mighty Thor, but then it also hinted at events that will happen in Marvel Legacy. It's giving hints without necessarily being directly tied, if that makes sense. But yeah, definitely I would say go check out Secret Empire. Some of the trades to check out with the tie-ins to check out with it. The all new Guardians of the Galaxy tie-in was really good. The Mighty Captain Marvel tie-in was really good as well. Told the story of these three young kids. Well, not young. They're Alpha Cadets, because Captain Marvel is still the leader of Alpha Flight when this is happening, and how on their first day they go up to Alpha Flight just as the shield is getting locked on, turned on and locked, the door locked. And as you would imagine, hilarity ensues from there. So real quickly before we go, I want to give you a couple picks. DC Comics Batman number 30, Doom Patrol number 8, Harley Quinn number 27. They've been doing really great stuff with the Harley Quinn book. Image Comics Elsewhere number 2, incredible story with the Elsewhere title. Kingsman Red Diamond, if you are excited for the movie, read this book. Motor Crush number 6, Walking Dead number 171, already going for $75 for certain covers. Marvel Comics, you got Venomverse starting up this week, and Generations, Iron Man and Ironheart, that has been surprisingly well done. Royals number 7. Those are all just a couple of the picks that I have for you. Thank you once again for watching this or listening to this special. Thank you once again for listening to this special edition where I reviewed Secret Empire, the complete run from issue 0 to 10. And until next time, read more comics.
This has been a Galactic Network podcast. For more, go to gncast.com. That's GNCASTS.com.